What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Dominic Peterson, host of the Duck Zone 503 podcast, where we talk all things Oregon football. Whether you're a first-time viewer or a long-time viewer, guys, I kindly ask that you hit that like and subscribe button down below. But most importantly, telling your friends and family about the podcast, the Duck Zone 503 podcast on YouTube. Go Ducks! So, I got a very special guest on the podcast today. He's going to recap his Oregon visit that just went down. I got 2024 four-star offensive tackle Bennett Warren in the building, man. How you doing?
Oh no, man.
Real excited to have you on, man. Real excited to get you on. And I always like to get the athletes that just were on campus to, tell how their visit went down, what's going to happen next for Duck fans to have their eye on you. Because I know there's a whole bunch of recruits coming at them. It's hard to keep track for the regular fans. So I always like to get them on here so they can know who you are. So let's go ahead and go over your 247 sports profile here. I have in front of me, I have you coming out of Fort Bend Christian Academy High School out there in Sugar Land, Texas. Height and weight standing 6'7", 315 pounds. Are you still around there, or has you got an update?
I'd say 325.
325. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so building up a little bit. We got 247 sports composite rating of your number 17th offensive tackle in the 2024 class. Number 40 player in Texas, number 225th nationally, man. That's big time. Being a top 300 player in the nation, top 20 in your position. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So 100%, man. Hard work. Let's just take it back to your early life. Let's just talk about where you grew up and, how it kind of shaped you into the man you are today.
So I can't say I grew up in one specific place. I lived all over the East Coast. Nice. I lived in Baltimore, Maryland, upstate New York, Cary, North Carolina, and I've lived in Texas going on 6.5 years maybe. Started playing football back in second grade. So I've been playing football for a long time, but I've only been playing right tackle for 3.5 years now. When I came to Fort Bend Christian, my head coach, his name is Jordan Black. He's spent 12 years in the league playing right tackle. So nice. Everything I really know comes from him. So I got to give props to that man right there. I don't never been to no camps or nothing. Don't mind the UA Next shirt, but I was there today.
Nice.
All I did was listen to his words and try my hardest. I came into high school at 6'4", 220, and now I'm 6'8", 325 pounds. So
big time. So yeah, you mentioned you kind of, you jumped to different place early on in your life. How do you think that kind of shaped you into, who you are today, the character you are? I know that's not easy, on a young man jumping from place to place, finding new friends everywhere you go. So how was that for you, man?
I think it, I want to say it helps me when it comes down to making decisions like this. Like, I'm not limited to one type of climate and area, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a big fan of the cold, so that's why I enjoy my time up in Oregon. I can rock with a t-shirt and shorts and 35-degree weather and be fine with it. But
nice. That's awesome.
Growing up, I tend to make friends quickly. I don't know what it was, but I never really felt like alone in the places I lived.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really sociable person. Sounds good, man. Always making friends wherever you go. It seems like you're very adaptable wherever you're at. You seem to like where you're ever at, and Oregon, definitely a place, it rains a lot here, very, very cloudy a lot. So it sounds like a good place for you, 100%. Maybe outside of football, let's step outside of football here. You got any maybe other hobbies or talents that people might not know about you?
Hobbies. I don't do too much, to be honest. Lift weights, and I'm pretty. I love cars. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. I'm a big car fan.
Nice.
Me and my friend detail cars.
Oh, nice.
I myself drive a Scat Pack, so
sweet. Yeah. Building cars, knowing how to detail them, that's a great skill to have. 100%. Yeah. Let's talk about maybe some of your favorite foods real quick. What was some of your favorite foods if you had a choice to eat some right now?
Big pasta guy. Big pasta. Okay. Every type of pasta, and I love salmon.
100%. Yeah, pasta and salmon. That's a great combination as well. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you maybe have a favorite college football team growing up? I always like to ask recruits this. It's always interesting because I know you bounce place to
Uh,
place, so it's probably not as easy for you to like be a fan of one team. But
yeah.
because for me as a Duck fan, like we don't have a professional team out here, so it's kind of easy for me to
Right.
just be a Duck fan off the bat. So for you, bouncing around, did you have a favorite college football team to watch, or maybe a favorite player?
Um, if I had to say I had a favorite team, it would be it would be South Carolina because my dad is from South Carolina,
Okay.
and he's always been about the Gamecocks. He's got like a Gamecocks bowling ball that he uses when
Okay.
we go bowling and stuff. And
Nice.
that was always a place I could watch when I was little. But I can't say I watched a whole lot of football when I was little. Outside of that, I was a big basketball player
Oh, nice.
before I
So
started
multi-sport
playing.
athlete. That's
Yeah.
gonna help. Yeah. So how do you feel, basketball coming into to the talk here? That's got to definitely help you in football, being a multi-sport athlete, playing basketball as well. How do you feel like do you feel like that gives you advantage, or do you feel like that's just kind of its own sport?
I feel like it definitely does bring an advantage footwork wise because I feel like I can move a lot faster than some other people when it comes down to kick stepping, which is a vital part of the position.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I think I think doing basketball workouts translates better to football. At some point, you work on your hip flexibility, your footwork and movement, your lateral movements, and like staying down in that stance. I think that definitely would brings a element to playing offensive line that mixes together well with with playing offensive line. Definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%. And all the running you got to do is great for conditioning,
Yeah.
of course. So 100%. Um, so Oregon's recruiting you real hard right now, just got you on a visit and stuff like that. Did you maybe have like a background with the Ducks? Like, did you ever watch Duck highlights or anything like that? Because you grew up on the East Coast. Did you have any connection with Oregon and the Oregon Ducks at all before this?
Yeah, I used to watch a whole lot of Panay Sewell highlights when
Oh,
he was there. I
yeah,
was a big fan of Panay.
yeah.
Other than that, I wasn't too into the Ducks. I mean, obviously, I knew about the Ducks, all the gear, all the the good players, Marcus Mariota, these people that come out of there that show off what Oregon's all about is really
Yeah.
that's another reason why I would know them.
100%. Yeah, that brand when we started, expanding our uniform combinations, that took the nation by storm. And yeah, it's
Yeah,
good to see that. 100%. Panay Sewell, man, doing his thing. Standout offensive lineman here at Oregon. 100%. A great person to look up to if you were to come here and be around here. So just off the top of your head, taking your recent visit, was this your first time to Oregon, correct?
yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So first visit, man, just off the top, what stood out to you most? It can be about Oregon, it could be about the state, it could be about something you saw. There's like off the top, what was the one thing that stood out to you the most about coming on your visit?
First thing I noticed because I flew into Portland was when I drove to Eugene. That place is beautiful. It's the scenery up there is amazing.
Yeah.
The flight in, you see Mount Hood. That was really dope to me. I got a ton of pictures on my phone of that. And inside of just the football, that offensive line and that group of coaches, Coach Kavanaugh, Coach Terry, and Coach Leftwich,
Mm,
the energy they bring to their offensive linemen was really nice. Like they were energetic and hyped the whole practices, talking to each other in meetings, talking through plays on the field. And Coach Terry has a whole lot of energy. He's got like a slogan, "Don't be good, be great." They say it
nice. Don't be
after
good, be
every
great. I
practice.
like that.
They like let us into the huddles at the end of the practices, and all the guys are treating us like we're just players like them, dapping each other up, and everybody hugs each other after practice. They pray. That was a really cool environment.
Awesome.
And hearing about the weightlifting program, how the like the workouts are separate for different athletes. So, offensive linemen, he said offensive linemen should not be doing the same thing the wide receivers could be doing because, there's
Okay.
obviously some things that wide receivers won't have to do that we have to do.
That's
And I
smart.
like that idea.
So being on like other visits to other schools, is that something unique that Oregon's doing, would you say? Like, they kind of have their own as far as working out and having their own thing for certain position groups, or other schools doing that too? Or is that something unique?
I'd say I'm not sure what other schools are doing technically, or maybe it's because Oregon put that aspect out there to let you know. I'm not sure what other, because Oregon really explained everything really well for me,
Yeah, that's cool.
which is something that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that's cool. So you said you talked to Coach Terry. I haven't heard a lot of stories about him. He's kind of new here at Oregon. How is Coach Terry? You said it has a lot of energy. I've seen a short video of him, and yeah, it seems like he has a lot of energy. I like his slogans a lot and what he's doing. Young guy. What do you like about him?
I gotta say, Coach Terry's energy is a big thing, as well as like he's very knowledgeable in the game for how short he's been in the coaching game. He coached for the Vikings and worked at Oregon before him, but he seems like a really knowledgeable person. Uh, their plays work well. I seen that a lot in practice. They were really doing well against the D line, even playing half speed and playing full speed, and only spiders, not even full pads, but they function well as a group, and he makes sure everybody's talking through, and there's people that put a lot of trust in him that are coming into the film rooms like 2 hours or whenever they have some off time. Like we were walking past the doors and stuff, you see a group of guys in there just watching film, no coaches around, making sure they're all together. So it seems like he really brought the line all together as a group, which is awesome.
Yeah, the Oregon O line, the last I'd say 5-6 years, consistently has been the strong suit of the team. We had Mario Cristobal here as a coach, and then it kind of transitioned to Dan Lanning now, and it's just been awesome to see Dan Lanning continue and that coaching staff to continue to make that room great and continue to bring good players in like yourself and to help build that room as well. Mike Cavanaugh, I think he's like a newer coach here at Oregon as well. Did you get the opportunity to talk to him at all?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Kavanaugh a lot. He's he's an old schooler type of guy, but he also has a whole lot of knowledge. But I enjoy Coach Kavanaugh a lot. He's even when he doesn't talk a lot, but when he talks, it's genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it feels good to talk to him on the field.
Okay, good. Yeah, and I bet when he talks, it's very important to listen when he talks because all the
Yeah,
knowledge he has. So yeah, it's a good. I think that's a good pair for Oregon at the O line room. They have a young coach mixed with the knowledgeable coach that can kind of see what his mistakes are and stuff like that. It's good. I like
yeah.
that. On top of speaking to coaches, you could maybe see a current Oregon player get their perspective. Did you get the opportunity to talk to any Oregon players and get their story on how it is to be a Duck?
Yeah, I talked to Josh Connerly and I talked to
Nice.
JPJ or Jackson Powers Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
he spent basically the whole visit with me. We were just chilling, talking around. He came up with like half of the ideas for all the pictures and stuff.
Okay.
But they're awesome people to be around. JPJ told me a lot about the places and told me, some things outside of football as well. What's good to eat in town, where do people do, how
Okay.
they hang
Showing
out,
you
and
how it's
just
around. Yeah, that's good.
yeah. But he gave me like a real insight on what they're doing at Oregon and that they like, because the players will tell you best that he said he really enjoys the 3 years that he spent there. And Joshua Connerly, he's new to it as well. He said he's really enjoying his time there, and he feels like those people they're building him as a player, which is dope.
Nice. Okay, that's really good to hear, man, because I've spent about a year and a half covering recruiting for the Ducks so far. And Jackson Powers Johnson, whenever he's around linemen on recruiting visits, and this for Duck fans and you if you didn't know, whenever those guys like Josh Connerly and Jackson Powers Johnson are spending time around you, that means the program really wants you, man. I'm just letting you know. Anytime I read stories about, oh yeah, and Jackson Powers Johnson was with me, most of the time that recruit ends up committing to Oregon. I'm just saying. I know it has nothing to do with you, but I'm just saying what I've seen from the outside in, and that looks like a good thing. Yeah. So Jackson Powers Johnson always been a key recruiter for Oregon at the O line. He's actually helped bring in Josh Connerly, 5-star
Yeah,
offensive lineman. Yeah, one of the highest rated offensive linemen to sign with Oregon. So yeah, that was big. We'll be on the lookout for you. You mentioned the photo shoot as well. The photo shoot is always fun. How'd you like the Oregon photo shoot? I know it's kind of a little more unique than other schools because we got more uniforms to put on and stuff like that. So how'd you like it, man? I know not everybody likes the uniform and the photo shoots, but how'd you like it?
I wore like three different uniforms, and honestly, they're all great. That's truly like the best photo shoot you can get. They got 1,000 stations out on the
Yeah,
field, in the boxing ring,
yeah,
doing a
man.
whole ton of different photos. I had a whole lot of fun up there. And JPJ was just behind me the whole time, just like giving me random photo ideas and stuff. So
That's awesome. That sounds fun, man. That
yeah.
sounds like a fun time. Yeah, that those photo shoots, I always like to see the different ideas, the different angles, the different props they bring out. It's always fun. It's always fun to see those, and they're really, really professionally done. Like they're clean.
Yeah.
So overall, do you have any more visits after the Ducks? Do you got any more upcoming visits with any other schools?
This week I'm headed to A&M at some point for a practice during the week sometime April 1st. It's not for sure yet, but I should be going to Michigan to watch their spring game. And then I have 2 OVs set right now. I got Oklahoma June 16th through the 18th and Oregon June 23rd through the 25th. So yeah, I set those up real quick.
June, would you say June one more time? Sorry, it kind of cut out a little.
23rd through the 25th for Oregon.
Oh, 23rd to the 25th, official visit. Okay, boom. Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's publicly on record. You're okay with that?
Yep. Yeah,
You're
it's
okay
on
with that news out?
24/7. It's on
Okay.
all
Boom. So
that.
you guys hear it. You guys heard it first. Duck Zone 503 pod. He's coming. He's coming in June. That's awesome, man. I was hoping you'd come during April because I'm going to the spring game, but hey, in the June, that's where the nice weather's at. So if you want to see some nice weather in Oregon, it's perfect. Like 70s, 80s, not too hot, not too cold. It's nice. So last thing here I got for you, the On3 recruiting prediction machine. I always like to talk about this one with recruits. Experts on their end at on3.com, they always kind of do their own, prediction and stuff like that. Right now, they currently favor Houston at 26.6%. They got Texas at 23.3% at number 2, and then at number 3, they got Rice at 7.1% for your commitment. Let's just go over those 3 schools because they wouldn't list those for no reason, right? I guess let's start with Houston.
Okay, so Houston was the second school ever to offer me, and at the time, the coaches there were Brandon Jones and Jawan Delaney, and they were really good people. And to be honest with you, if they were still there, I probably would have committed there by now.
Oh,
But
wow. Okay.
they have both split their separate ways. I've just been talking to Coach Brandon recently about, about trying to find somewhere else to coach. But Brandon and Jawan are great resources to me. I still talk to them to this day, just outside of football. The man's not even coaching. He's taking the time out of the day to text me and tell me that I could be a great player, which is a really respectable thing for him to do. He lives 5 minutes around the corner from me. Yeah, he said I can come over whenever.
Nice.
It's just great people to be around. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
That's
Houston
definitely
sounds,
a big impact on Houston.
yeah, Houston sounds, like a great school too. Great. And Texas right there. So that's awesome. And then you got Texas, University of Texas, the big school in Texas, the Longhorns, right? What do you like about them?
The Longhorns were the first school to ever recruit me, I think. Either that or it was Rice, but the Longhorns have been recruiting me for probably 2 years by now.
Oh,
I've
wow.
seen Coach Flood at least 12 times in my life, met Sark a lot, been up there for, I think, 4 visits now.
Mm-hmm.
They're all unofficials, but I think I've been up there for 4 visits, and hopefully soon I'm scheduling an official with them too. But I don't have that set yet. But I have a great relationship with those guys, and some of the players there, I met them before they were actually there. So I've learned a lot about Texas and the type of people they look for and the environment up there. And I gotta say they're awesome people to be around.
Oh yeah, 100%. Texas blue blood school, man. Lots of money there. Awesome. Texas is awesome, man. Rice is another school that was like, very early in your recruitment. It seems kind of like On3 is basing like, how long a school's been talking to you for their prediction. I guess let me ask you this. What's like the biggest factor for your recruitment? Like is it like coaches, location, facilities? Like what is the biggest factor?
Um, Location has never been a problem to me. I told you I've lived all over the country, so I don't mind any type of environment. I adapt well to where I go. But I think the real deciding factor is where do I feel most at home at, where do I feel like I can be myself, what do they say, unapologetically or whatever,
Yeah.
to just be myself around the players and the coaches and not have to change
Not put on a filter
for
and
any. Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I know, when it's time to work, it's time to work. On the field it's a whole different type of idea, especially in college. I know I got nothing but work ahead of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a big factor.
Okay, yeah, being yourself, that's a big one, 100%. And sounds like you felt like you could be yourself around those guys on this visit. So we'll see how it goes down and on June for your visit. That's right, June.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, gotcha. All right, guys. So really appreciate you. This is 2024 4-star offensive tackle Bennett Warren coming on the podcast to recap his Oregon visit. Do you want to shout out any of your social medias so Duck fans can go follow you?
Yeah, go follow me on Instagram at bw76.x, and Twitter is Benz, capital BENZ, capital WARREN 76. Yeah.
Boom. There you guys go. Go hit those follow buttons right now. I'm your host, Dominic Peterson. This is the Duck Zone 503 podcast where we talk all things Oregon football. If you haven't already, guys, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Most importantly, telling your friends and family about the podcast. Go Ducks, baby. Can I get a go Ducks before we go?
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Go Ducks. Appreciate you, Bennett. We'll be reconnecting sometime after your official visit to go after that and see how close you are to getting to committing to a school after that. So
yes, sir.
Be on the lookout for that, Duck fans. Really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Thank you once again.